Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm Romar, Marketing Specialist from Workbank, your job site with Malasakit. Thanks for joining us today. Hope everyone is well and safe in the comfort of their homes. Most of us have been in quarantine for 2 months now, and not being able to do the stuff we were used to doing has taken a toll on our mental health. Not to mention the feelings of uncertainty that most of us have because the pandemic has affected our livelihoods, our jobs, our finances, our security. Today, we will try to make sense of our emotions with the help of a neuro-linguistics programming expert. Before we start, though, let me introduce my co host, Workbank's Head of Digital Marketing, Fe Nunez. Hi, Fe.
Hi, Feg. Hi, Romer. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to everyone who joined us today. Thank you so much for coming. For those who don't know us yet, Workbank is the only job site that lets you job hunt with benefits. We offer free trainings to make you more employable. While you apply, we provide support like grab ride discounts for job interviews. And Workbank users also get the Workbank e-card, a first in the jobs market. This entitles you to lifestyle perks like food and fitness freebies with our partner merchants. If you're looking for jobs with benefits, please look us up, type workbank.com. But for now, let's get on with the program. A quick reminder, if you have any questions, type them in the comment section. We'll try to get to them after the presentation. For now, let me introduce you to our Neuro-Linguistics Programming expert and co-founder and CEO of TrainStation, Carelle Mangaliag-Herrera. Good afternoon, Carelle.
Hi, good afternoon. An amazing day to all of you. I know it's a rainy afternoon. Baka may mga nanlalamig na dyan, nalalamigan. So yes, maulan, and yet we're here to help all of you be more employable, to have more opportunities. So thank you, Workbank, for doing this for the people who subscribe to you, for the people that you serve. Thank you so much.
Thank you also for taking the time to share your expertise to a lot of people today. So by the way, Carelle, what exactly is NLP or Neuro-Linguistics Programming? It sounds so scientific.
Oo nga, no ba? Parang nakaka-nosebleed, napaka-jargon. But if you simplify it, it's really neuro, the brain, how you process information, how you think, bakit ka takot, bakit ka brave, bakit ka madaldal, bakit ka magaling na communicator, bakit ka mahiyain, bakit ka complainer. So, ang daming mga bakit, di ba? Pero lahat yan ay process ng brain that comes from a programming, how you were programmed, how you were trained. All of these things, our language, the way we speak, it's our training and how you are able to label all of these experiences in your life. Kasi natutunan natin siya from our parents, from our environment. So, we learned all of these things. Now, if we are going to apply it now to mental health, yung mga taong nade-depress, yung mga taong merong anxiety,
I think, Romar, so yeah, yes. So right now, I think a lot of people are able to experience feeling anxious. And then, like right now, Romar, with all the pandemic that's happening, anong nararamdaman mo?
It's very unsettling for me kasi 'di ba first of all so ang dami-daming mga companies na sila iba-iba yung coping mechanism nila like there are some na nagbabawas ng oras, there are some na the worst case scenario is they resort to retrenchment, so kumbaga ang hirap nung ganong sitwasyon. And I know some friends who have experienced that. What about you, Fe? How do you feel? I mean, what's your mental situation right now amidst the pandemic?
I think it's similar to that in a sense na everyone is feeling uncertain, and it's a mix of emotions like I'm grateful that I still have a job, but there are a lot of people, how can I help, or am I still going to have a job after all of this, after 3 months? So ang dami uncertain, and everything is new for everyone. So that's why I'm very excited with what Carelle will be sharing with us, kasi she's going to share us tips on how to be Brainstrong in this pandemic. So, yeah, basically, I actually have a lot of friends who are experiencing, alam mo yun, they are normally stable,
Mm.
but because ang daming uncertainties na nangyayari and that are beyond your control. So, I'm surprised actually, but you really can tell kasi what's going to happen and how people are going to react depending on the situation, to each his own. So hopefully, yung mga matututunan natin today would be very helpful to everyone. And again, if you have any comments or questions, please, just comment later and then we'll try to answer them.
Right, right. And I agree. That's actually one of the things na kung bakit I'm very excited for this session kasi it's a problem that everyone faces. Whether it's a big company, a small company, whether you're the employer or let's say you're an employee who baka siguro ay meron yung iba kasing nakakatawa pa meron yung by 2020 January, new year, new me, tapos biglang resign, tapos biglang maghahanap sana ng trabaho tapos biglang nagkaganto. So what can we do? What are the things that we can, the things that we can control? So are there things na we can we still cope with this kind of pandemic? Ganon. Fair unmute. Ayan.
Yes, okay. So, yeah, actually, this is not my first time that I encountered Carelle. So I have already a session with her way back in 2013, and I learned a lot from her. So,
Wow.
yeah, so I was just telling Romar how excited I am. I really admire you, and I I think I shared it earlier also. I learned it so much. I learned a lot from you so much up to now. I've been practicing it and I've been sharing it to everyone else also, to my friends. So I'm happy na more people will be able to learn from you with Facebook
Yeah.
Live.
Thank
So
you.
yeah,
Thank you.
I
So,
guess go ahead.
yes, so I apologize na nawala ako bigla, but as I was saying, where was I though? Saan ako naputol?
Basically, you were explaining what is NLP and then how people are feeling right now, being anxious, and how it's going to help them. So maybe you can
Yeah.
explain to us how NLP can help us. We'll leave the floor to you.
All right. So, yun yung sinasabi natin, yung apprehensions natin that new normal nga to. And even the employers that were probably going to apply for or apply to, baka meron din silang mga concerns. So, how do we now become more agile? Yun yung gusto nating malaman. Paano tayo magiging agile? Ano ibig sabihin nito? Kaya ba nating rumisponde sa pagbabago ng panahon? Now, kung kaya mong rumisponde sa pagbabago ngayon, it has to come from, first, your brain. It has to come from emotional and mental agility because without that, kahit anong strategies, hindi ka makakaisip. Kahit anong diskarte, hindi ka makakaisip because you are not fit mentally and emotionally. Napapansin mo ba yun pagka masyado kang emotional? Parang lahat ng bagay, na-overwhelm ka. Parang ang dami-daming pagbabago, ang dami-daming nangyayari. And you worry. I'm sure you worry about your health. You worry about your family's health. You worry about going out. You worry. Ang dami tayong wino-worry ngayon. Pera, ano ba yung future natin? What does our future hold? So it can make us anxious and overwhelmed. The minute that happens, whatever strategies, minsan sa harap natin, hindi natin nakikita. Whatever solutions, hindi natin nakikita. Nakakalimutan na nga natin na pwede pala tayong maging grateful kahit sa panahong ito eh. And a lot of people are going to say, ano ba yan, grateful sa panahong ito? Ano ang pasasalamatan mo? Well, unang-una, nabuhay pa tayo. That you still have your health. What about the other people who've lost, loved ones and, who are losing their health by the day? Honestly, right now, there are so many things we cannot control. And what we would want to present to you are ways for you to be able to take charge of what you can control. I cannot control this COVID. I cannot control this lockdown. I cannot control possible employments in the future. Although I can be in charge of my employability. I can be in charge of my growth. I can be in charge of investing time to learn more. If you're thinking, ay, ang daming nasasayang na oras, well, ito yung oras na maaari mong gamitin to keep on training yourself and to keep on investing on yourself. I don't care if it is going online, doing more online courses, going to Workbank for more support for these online trainings, seeking out on your own para pagkatapos nito, mas okay ka. So going back to NLP, ano ba yung nakasanayan mo? A lot of things parang nasanay na tayo eh. Our brains are so used to certain things. It's so used to labeling certain things. Nasanay siyang i-label ang mga bagay-bagay na pain and pleasure. Gusto ko to, ayaw ko to. Sanay tayo doon. So kung ayaw natin, hindi natin ginagawa. Kung gusto natin, ginagawa natin. Kaya ba napapansin niyo may mga bagay na sobrang dali for you to do? Sobrang dali. Bakit? Gusto mo eh. At may mga bagay na kaya mo naman, pero ayaw mo gawin. Naka-label na siya eh. So, hindi mo ginagawa. May mga tao na naka-label sa atin na gusto natin. So kung gusto natin siya, dahil yun yung label mo sa kanya, yun yung linguistics mo sa kanya, kahit gumawa siya ng mali, okay lang. Pero kasi kung ayaw mo siya, pag may ginawa siyang mali, ayaw mo, lalo ka nanggagalaite. Kung ayaw mo siya at may ginawa siyang tama, hindi mo napapansin. Kasi ayaw mo siya. Pero kung gusto mo yung tao, kahit may mali yan, kahit may kasalanan yan, ang daling mapatawad. Kasi ang label mo sa kanya, gusto mo siya. So ano ang label ng brain natin dito sa tinatawag nating pandemic, itong lockdown, itong new normal? Anong label mo sa kanya? Nakakatakot? Ayoko siya? So dahil nakakatakot at ayaw mo siya, lumalayo yung utak natin sa kanya. Nagpapanik kasi tayo or nagkakaroon tayo ng anxiety sa mga bagay na hindi natin alam. That's what happens to our brain. We are programmed to respond because of that. So how you think, how you speak, how you act, they're all programs. Yan yung mga bagay na nakasanayan mo. So kung sanay kang laging nag-worry bago ng COVID, pagdating ng COVID, nag-worry ka pa rin. Kung sanay kang maging nega, mag-complain, prior to this, yan din yung iyong default reaction ngayon. Pero kung sanay ka na maging brave, na maging alisto, na lagi nag-iisip, na nagsa-strategize, na nagko-communicate, humahanap ng diskarte, even before COVID, dahil nakasanayan mo yon, yan din ang gagawin mo after. Now, when it comes to thinking about those programs, hindi ibig sabihin ako, ito na yung programa mo, wala ka ng pag-asa. Ito na yon. Kaya nga sobrang nakakatuwa, yung pwede mo siyang i-reprogram ha, kung ikaw nga, magaling kang magsalita ng English, natutunan mo yun eh. Ako nung bata ako, I didn't know how to speak good English. My accent, my grammar, my pronunciation, they're all bad. Bakit? Kasi hindi naman ganun ka-perfect mag-English ang magulang ko. Sasabihan ako ng tatay ko, blurry. Blurry yung picture, blurred. Sasabihin ng nanay ko, yung doubter, my cousin. Kasi Ilocano kami. So talagang, Pangasinense pa yung tatay ko. So talagang yung pronunciation namin iba. Pero dahil sa na-train ko ang sarili ko, nanood ako ng Sesame Street mula nung bata ako. Pinalaki ako ng isang TV show na pambata na puro English. And yung mga teachers ko, tinuruan ako ng tamang pronunciation. So that has trained me to speak in a different way. Kapapanood ba naman ng Netflix, kapapanood ba naman ng HBO, talagang natututo ako mag-English. Siguro pagkatapos nitong pandemic na to, magaling na ako mag-Korean. Saranghamida. Anong sayo? Kasi natututo ako dahil nagkakaroon tayo ng input or experiences. Our brain is a computing machine. Kung ano yung palagi mong nakikita, ano yung na-expose ka paulit-ulit, natitrain yung utak mo na matuto that way. So yung iba sa atin, na-train nga na mag-communicate, maabilidad, bibo mag-communicate, nasa training lang din yan ng galing. So kung gusto mo maging mas bibo, mag-communicate, gusto mo maging mas magaling, mas maging employable, then you have to train yourself how to be employable. So one of the things that I would want to talk about when it comes to the brain is the emotional brain. Kasi yan yung pumipigil sa'yo na mag-aral, pumipigil sa'yo ma-motivate, yan yung nagde-demotivate sa'yo, yan yung minsan sobra kang emotional, ayaw mong gumawa ng desisyon or matutulog ka na lang, or minsan naaapektuhan yung pagkain mo. Kasi yung emotional brain mo is the one that is aroused. The arousal of the emotional brain is actually situated in the limbic brain. Nakikita ninyo dito sa aking PowerPoint presentation na nandiyan yung tinatawag nating limbic brain. The emotional brain, nandiyan yung long-term memory mo, nandiyan yung habits mo, kung paano ka mag-toothbrush. Left-handed ka ba mag-toothbrush or right-handed ka mag-toothbrush? Naka-store yan kasi habit na yan. Na kapag ka meron ka ring rewards, na tuwing kumakain ka ng ice cream, saya-saya mo. Nakakita ka pa lang ng ice cream, yay! Kahit na hindi mo pa kinakain yung ice cream, masaya ka na sa concept of ice cream kasi nandoon na siya sa long-term memory, nasa reward system na siya ng brain, nandoon na siya sa pleasure part of your brain. Ano ngayon tong amygdala? Hindi po Queen Amidala. Amygdala. Ka-sounds like lang. So si amygdala ay sa Star Wars, ang amygdala ay ang ating panic button. Ano yung panic button? Kapag ka pumapasok ka sa isang kwarto, sa isang lugar, yung amygdala mo scours for threats. Tinitignan niya kung merong bang bagay na ikamamatay mo. Merong bang bagay na makakasakit sa'yo. And your amygdala is on alert to tell you, oh, there's danger. Now, it also gets tamed down or na-modulate siya or na-moderate siya dahil meron tayong capability to say, walang threat, okay na. Pero kapag ka merong threat, katulad ng isang tigre na biglang nandiyan sa harap mo, back in the caveman days, ganun tayo nabuhay. Lahat ng hayop, kaya sila buhay dahil itong kanilang limbic brain is the one that's going to tell them, run, merong threat, kakainin ka na ng tigre, tatakbo ka. Kaya pag nag-alert ang amygdala, ano nangyayari? Nanlalamig yung kamay mo dahil nawawala ang dugo sa kamay mo, napupunta lahat sa yung limbs para tumakbo ka ng mabilis at mabuhay ka. Maliban dyan, biglang nanunuyo yung lalamunan mo. Biglang yung heart mo nagpapalpitate. So lahat to, signs of anxiety. Nawawalan ka ng gana. Hindi ka nagugutom pag nagpapanik ka. Magugutom ka na lang pagkatapos. So because of all of that, your body's function is like that because your emotional brain is heightened. Kaya minsan, hindi ka makapag-isip. Nagkakaroon ka ng mental block. Magsusulat ka pa lang ng resume mo, hindi mo na alam kung ano ilalagay mo dahil na may mental block ka because of anxiety. So how can you help yourself? Panic makes you, do illogical, irrational decisions. So maliban pa doon, kung constantly ka nagpapanik or nagkakaroon ng anxiety at hindi ka brain strong, it lowers your immune system. Mas madali ka magkasakit. It makes you less efficient. Nagiging burara, kalat-kalat. Pagdating ng interview, nauutal. Pagdating mo sa interview, hindi ka makapagsalita. It affects your behaviors. So kunyari, ikaw ay nasa interview, online ang iyong interview, nandiyan ka, nakalimbak ka, hindi ka makatingin sa camera, it affects your behaviors. It affects your sleep. It affects your eating. It also releases neurohormones that affect your brain. Cortisol is a neurohormone that is for stress. So pagka laging nakarelease ang cortisol, mas madali kang magkasakit, and it affects your learning, mas hirap matuto, at na-affect nito ang long-term memory mo. So pagka meron tayong panic, ang nangyayari, nag-emotional hijack siya. Lahat ng blood flow from the thinking brain or yung nag-iisip nating utak, pumupunta siya doon sa feeling brain. So, ano nangyayari? Emotional. Other people are going through anxiety right now and panic because of the emotional brain being on hyperdrive. So, para maging mas employable ako, paano ko gagamitin ang aking executive brain? Yung aking logical brain. Tinuturo ko dito kasi ito talaga ang location niya. Nandiyan siya sa ating noo. Ang tawag dyan ay prefrontal cortex. Merong pag-aaral na kapag ito ang damaged sa isang tao at nangyayari yan, kailan siya nadadamage, an accident, a trauma, then they have problems in regulating their emotions. Nagiging sobra lang silang emotional at hindi nila kayang iproseso ito. So itong prefrontal cortex natin, nade-develop at the age of 18 to 21. So kung below 18 kayo, pwedeng hindi pa siya developed at medyo emotional ka pa. Marami ka pang nagagawang impulsive decisions, or minsan ako natatandaan ko nung nasa 18 ako, rebellious pa ako sa magulang ko, konting kibot na magulang ko, nagagalit ako, naiinis ako, bakit niya ito ginagawa? And then nung naging 18 to 21, doon nagsa-start mag-develop at nagkaroon na ako ng pagkakaintindi. Naiintindihan ko na yung magulang ko. All of a sudden, na-realize ko, hindi naman pala ganun kasama tatay ko. Yung sinasabi naman pala niya para sa kabutihan ko. So, as you start to mature, this one is the one that's getting really developed. So, develop na ba ang yung prefrontal cortex? May pag-asa pa yan. How can I change how my brain works? Well, kaya ba itong baguhin? Yes and no, kasi yes, dahil kaya mong baguhin yung neural pathways or connections that you're making. Kung kunyari ikaw ay nagtutoothbrush with the right hand, the minute that you brush with your left hand, you are creating a neural pathway. Now, if you keep on brushing with your left hand dahil nabali ang right hand mo, then this can become stronger. That neural pathway can become stronger. So, technically speaking, kaya mo talaga siyang baguhin. Merong mga taong nabaldado or hindi na makapagsalita, like my mother-in-law could not speak dahil na-damage yung kanyang words part of the brain, yung kanyang temporal lobe. Pero alam niya kung ano sasabihin niya, hindi lang niya masabi. So, meron pa rin siyang words though na natututunan. Pwede niyang palakasin yung words na yon. So that's why there are people who go through therapy para mapalakas ang tamang neural pathways in the brain. So, what am I talking about? Ano epekto nito ngayon sa aking pagiging employable? So, kung ang utak mo lagi nagpapanik, hindi ka makadiskarte. Kung ang utak mo ay laging stressed or na-agitate ka, sa job interviews pa lang, hindi ka magfa-fly, you won't excel in that job interview because your mind is agitated, is emotional. So how can I use words to make my interviews better? How can I communicate better with my brain? How can I train my brain to respond better when it comes to job interviews or seeking opportunities for employability or seeking learning for employability. Sabi ko nga kanina, pag stressed ka, hindi ka na nga mahirap matuto. So how can I help myself? First is to change the way you speak, your language. Paano mo nililabel ang isang bagay? Kaya pag gising mo sa umaga, nakita mo tong taong to at sinabi mo, ay salot sa buhay ko to. Pag sinabi mo salot sa buhay, itong sa isang taong to, kahit anong gawin niya mali. Pero subukan ko kayang i-label siya ng mas tama. Itong tao na to may pinagdadaanan. Itong tao na to challenge sa buhay ko. Itong tao na to great teacher sa buhay ko. Itong pandemic na to, how do you label it? Hassle? Grabe? Kung ano man ang tinatawag mo rito sa pandemic na to, ito sa lockdown na to, nasa iyo yun. Ako, I will now try to see it as a way to invest on myself. I will see it as a way to learn. At alam mo kung ano ang natututunan ko dito, kahit anong pinakamahirap na challenge na pinagdadaanan mo sa buhay, meron at meron kang matututunan. Meron at meron kang ikalalakas dahil dito. There is always a learning or something that will make me better after this. Now, ano yung linguistic? Ano yung language ko para dito? I can call this pandemic as an opportunity for me to learn how to adapt, how to be agile. Pagkatapos nitong pandemic, baka magaling na akong IT professional or digital marketer dahil sa lahat ng ginagawa kong pag-aaral online. So, anong tinutumbok natin dito? What is the story you tell yourself? Because if you tell yourself, this is an opportunity to learn, that will affect your actions. If you say to yourself, this is an opportunity for me to bond, that will affect your actions. Paano kung kunyari magulo sa bahay ninyo? Ang daming nangyayari sa pamilya ninyo, nag-aaway yung nanay at tatay, hindi alam ng magulang ninyo kung may trabaho rin sila pagkatapos nito. Kung ang story na sinasabi mo sa sarili mo ay, ang gulo-gulo, wala na. Anong gagawin mo? Magkukulong ka sa kwarto. You isolate yourself from everybody. But if the story in your head is, paano kaya ako makakatulong sa kanila? If I can give them coffee, wala pa akong trabaho, bigyan ko sila ng kape. Kumustahin ko si Nay. Nay, kamusta? Tay, kamusta? Bigyan ko kaya sila ng kindness. If I cannot do anything in this time, at this time, maybe I can do a little bit of acts of kindness. Do little actions, little things that I can express love para at least man lang hindi ganun ka-stress ang mga magulang ko dahil ang dami na nilang pinagdadaanan. Or what about you? Maybe you need a little bit of kindness. Kapag ka lagi na lang stress, overwhelm ang naiisip mo, baka naman kailangan mo sa oras na to na bigyan ng sarili mo ng kindness and attention, a little bit of compassion. The story you tell yourself affects how you relate, affects all your actions. Kung kunyari, buwisit ako sa isang tao, at yun yung story sa utak ko, hassle siya, di pabalang ako makipag-usap. But I keep on reminding myself, sa panahon ngayon, hindi na natin kailangan ng mas marami pang pabalang makipag-usap. So can I have a little bit more kindness for this person? Dahil doon, nagiging mas mabait ako makipag-usap. It's not just for that person, but also for me. So, the next is the story we tell others. Yun yung sinasabi ko kanina, paano ako makipag-usap sa iba. Kung gusto niyo maging mas employable, practicein ninyo sa utak ninyo yung tamang script. Kasi baka yung script sa utak mo, hindi ako enough, hindi ko to kaya. So paano ka makikipag-usap? Mukha kang takot, mukhang hindi mo kaya. Pero kapag paulit-ulit sa utak mo, kaya ko to, aaralin ko to. Hindi ko man alam ang tinatanong sa akin na nag-i-interview sa akin, I can say, sir, aalamin ko yan, aaralin ko yan. Fast learner ako. Because that's the story you tell yourself. But if the story you tell yourself is na, hindi ko ata to kaya, pag may tinanong sa'yo, kaya mo ba yan? Anong response mo? Kaya po, Kaya naman po. Pero kita doon sa kinikilos mo dahil yun na yung iniisip mo. People are very transparent. How you think is seen in your actions and how you communicate with others. So, practicein yung script na sinasabi mo sa sarili mo. Ano yung sunod? Practicein mo makipag-usap sa iba. Kung gusto mo mag-practice online and practice on interviews online, makipag-Zoom ka, makipag-Google Meet ka, makipag-chat ka sa mga taong kaibigan mo at sabi mo, pagpapracticean lang kita, kamusta ako makipag-usap? Mukha bang sing-song yung aking salita? Mukha bang authentic? Mukha bang kapanipaniwala yung facial reactions ko? Kasi iba yung skill ng face-to-face eh. Pag face-to-face ka, nakikita ka ng tao, nararamdaman mo kung ano yung sinasabi niya. Pero pagdating sa online, camera, meron tayong camera. So, para tayong magpa-practice ng acting. Para kang magpa-practice paano project sa camera. Para at least mas nararamdaman nilang totoo ang sinasabi mo at sana naman ay talagang totoo dahil practice mo na yung tamang sinasabi sa sarili. So, how do you communicate with others? Some people are trained to be more visual. Balik tayo sa NLP, sa training ng utak natin. Yung iba, na-train to be visual. So, mahilig silang magbasa, mahilig silang manood ng TV or pag nag-a-apply ka sa kanila, tinitingnan nila kung ano itsura ng resume mo or ng CV mo, tinitingnan nila yung emails mo. So, may mga taong visual. And siguro yung iba sa inyo, you need to improve on your visual presentation. How you look kapag nag-i-interview ka online, how your CV looks when you're sending them to your employers or when you send them online through Workbank. You can also notice how you are projecting physically kasi visual pa rin yan kapag nag-i-interview ka. Now, if you also want to improve yourself, maybe as a visual learner, you want to read books, you want to go on YouTube and watch, go ahead because that's probably the best way to communicate with you. The best way to communicate with someone else though, you have to be able to adjust. Katulad ko, hindi ako visual. Kaya kunyari, ang PowerPoint presentations ko or ang outfit ko, chinecheck ng asawa ko. Kasi kung hindi, pangit ang lalabas. Kasi hindi ko ganun ka-train ang sarili ko. Although natututo naman ako, I keep on trying to train myself para mapansin ko itong mga bagay na hindi ko napapansin lagi. So that I can be better in my presentations. So how can I also reprogram the way that I communicate? What if yung kausap ko hindi naman visual, auditory siya? Ano ibig sabihin ng auditory? They care about what they hear. Kahit anong ipadala mong email, gaano kaganda yung CV mo, ay minsan mas gusto niya yung interview. Wala siyang pake doon sa natanggap niya, gusto niya interview at makausap ka niya. Now, yung iba rin sa inyo, hindi pinapansin yung CV, yung resume, yung itsura, kasi feeling mo okay ka naman sa communication. Ito yung mga taong pag nagbabasa ng libro, minsan walang pumapasok, gusto nila nakikinig. So pwede kang matuto sa mga audiobooks, pwede kang matuto habang nakikinig ng YouTube videos, but you're focusing more on what you hear than what you are seeing. So kung ikaw rin naman ay kinesthetic or feeler, ito yung mga taong pag natututo, gusto nila na meron silang mga experiments na ginagawa, they do what they learn, kung napanood nila sa YouTube, gusto nilang pagpraktisan. Now, kung ang inyong ina-applyan ay kinesthetic, hindi mo siya mahahawakan, hindi mo makakamayan online. Pero ano ang mapaparamdam mo sa kanya with the words that you use? Because these people care about emotions. They care about the emotions that you display, the body language that you are showing them that makes them feel na itatrust ka nila. Trustworthy ka ba? So, we can reprogram these things if we are programmed in a certain way. Sabi ko kanina, hindi ako visual. But ever since yung asawa ko ay napangasawa ko, naging kami, siya visual siya. So, binibigyan niya ako ng coloring book para matuto akong maging visual. Binigyan niya ako ng camera para makapag-picture-picture ako. So, natitrain yung pagiging visual. Pinapag-aral niya ako mag-makeup para maging mas maganda yung makeup ko dahil dati talagang sablay ang makeup ko. Ngayon, we have to test how it looks on camera right now so that I can improve on my visuals. Now, if you're talking to people online and you're saying, how can I reprogram, ma'am, yung boses ko? Ganito. Hihiya po kasi talaga ako. I'm really shy. My name is Carelle. Natatrain po ba yan? Yes, mag-voice lessons ka. Kahit mag-online ka, subukan mong gamitin yung diaphragm mo. Dati, nung bata ako, pag tumatawag ka sa telepono sa bahay namin, sasagot ang mami ko, hello? Ganun siya sumagot, very nasal. So dati natuto ako na ang salita, nasal. Hello? Mali pala, hindi pala nasal. So nasasanay ka dito sa nasal or nasasanay ka na lalamunan ang ginagamit mo pag nagsasalita ka. Hindi natin minsan napapansin, hindi maganda ang tunog natin. Pag-practice ninyo, record yourself on video, listen to your voice if it sounds good. Because online, pagka nag-interview ka with an employer and you sound bad, it is heard. It is heard on your laptop. Pagka ikaw ay nagsasalita, I'm very good at like this, halata, rinig. So try to modulate your voice. Paano natin i-modulate? I-practice mo na hindi sumasayad yung hangin sa lalamunan mo kapag nagsasalita ka. Yung para kang humihikab, yung, oh, hello, hi, my name is Carelle. Mas maganda kaysa boses ko, hi, my name is Carelle. Correct? So, if I can make it sound, tinatawanan ako ng asawa ko, natatawa mo kayo. So, pagka yung boses mo sayad, kasi yung hangin, yung pressure nasa throat. I-release mo yung pressure sa throat and put it just on your soft palate, sa ngala-ngala, and you talk with that placement. Tawag namin sa singing dyan kasi hindi niya natatanong, singer ako noong bata ako. So, noong 1995, yung iba sa inyo hindi pa pinapanganak, kinanta ko yung World Youth Day song sa harap ng 5 milyong tao. 5 lang ba? 5 million. So, the training is really my voice. So I can now communicate even online with my voice coming from my diaphragm. That can be programmed. Now, yung acting ko, yung movement ko, saan ko yan natutunan? Pinanonood ko sarili ko sa video. Haharapin ko yung sarili ko sa salamin. Tinitignan ko, totoo ba? Naniniwala ba ako sa'yo? So that I can practice that muscle. And when I communicate with anybody, kaya ng brain ko na pumunta doon sa pathway na yon kasi pre-practice ko siya. So, brain training, programming is really all about what you practice, what you constantly practice. Kung ang pinapractice mo ng muscle ay
I completely agree with that, Romar, na very important na practice. May kasabihan nga tayo, di ba, na practice makes perfect. But anyway, hindi naman kailangan maging perfect. It's all a matter of practicing
Yes.
to make sure na you're able to train your brain to do things like that. And it's very important right now in this situation. You really invest in yourself. Invest in yourself to do better right now. Like what Carelle said, you upskill yourself, you retool yourself, you take this time to learn more. Marami naman kasi online that you can learn either on your own or you ask your friend or someone to mentor you. But everything is an opportunity if you see it as such. So, like sinabi niya kanina, it's really how you respond to things. So, normally talaga, karamihan sa atin, if you're kinakabahan or, if you're put in a certain situation, you tend to clam up and then wala na, you'll just go to your bubble na lang and then shield yourself. But like for example, if you're stressed, so instead of saying nakaka-stress, so you can change the way you speak or the way you think, and then you can say nakaka-stretch. So nakaka-stretch siya.
Gusto ko
But
yan, gusto ko yan.
yeah, so it's something positive na,
Mm.
I mean, kasi it influences also eh. I naniniwala ko na, like what Carelle said, the way you speak, the way you think really affects the way you behave. So if you think na nakaka-stress siya, edi ang gagawin mo, punta ka lang sa bubble mo. But if you think na nakaka-stretch siya, so sabihin mo, kaya pa yan, may mas-stretch pa ako, kaya pa. So, you keep telling yourself that, kakayanin mo talaga. But if you keep telling yourself, hindi ko na kaya, ayoko na, bye. So, hindi ka nag-effort. So, wala na talagang mangyayari. So, it's kind of like, applying for a job na sabihin mo, gusto ko mag-apply, wala akong trabaho, kawawa naman ako. Tapos, wala ka namang ginagawa. So, ang dami-daming jobs online, that's the beauty of the pandemic right now. Our advantage. Kasi imaginein mo, if, this happened and walang internet, so talagang paano ka mag-a-apply? But right now, with this situation and you have the internet and you have a lot of time on your hands, hindi ka na some people actually commute a lot, like long hours. Like ikaw, di ba, Romar? How many hours do you commute?
Oh, yes. You had to remind me of that. Since galing akong Las Piñas, tapos I have to commute going to BGC. That's like at least 2 hours going to work and then another 2 hours coming home. So, kumbaga, yun palang very stressful na. Pero again, it's a matter of perspective. Dito pumapasok yung, do you see the glass as half empty or half full? So, it's how you train your mind, how you train yourself in perceiving the situation that we're in. Katulad ngayon, so the situation is, siguro nagkakaroon ng internet problems, but I don't see that as a problem. I see that as a way para at least yung kumbaga, you and I were like para tayong spokespersons nung mga nasa bahay ngayon na nakikinig ngayon sa atin na, oo, ganun din yung iniisip ko. And it's great na andito na ulit si Carelle. Hi, Carelle!
I think, meron pa interruption. So, going back, Romar, dun sa, sa commute period mo. So, di ba, it's like the total of 4 hours na free na because you're able to work from home. So, that's a good opportunity na for people who used to be commuting, they have more time on their hands right now. What they can do is, instead of being sad that na-lay off sila, of course, everyone needs some time to be sad. You have to acknowledge it and to be, to take some time to recover. But you have to also take some time to make an effort to recover. So like what I said, internet is a gift right now. We're very lucky we have it right now. So you might want to take advantage of it. It's as simple as, typing in workbank.com and looking for jobs there. And of course, syempre, like what I said, kailangan ng effort. So hindi pwedeng apply ka lang. Syempre mag-effort ka. You need to, aside from upskilling yourselves, you need to also update your profile and complete your profile. Kasi syempre naman, kung nag-apply ka nga, ang nakalagay lang doon, first name, email address, phone number, job title, ano yun? So, if you want to, alam mo yun, konting effort siya. It really pays to exert effort. So, it's not easy. Yeah, not everyone, to be honest, not everyone is good at filling up forms. So that's where, you ask help also. You ask for friends. So you seek help kasi not everyone has those skills din naman eh. So take advantage of your friends, of your family members, and then, learn from them. What do you think, Romar?
Yeah, I think that's very true. And again, it's a matter of perception pa din. It's a matter of how we see things. And we're not saying na you don't address the emotions you're feeling right now. Take all the time that you need to address those emotions. But at the same time,
That's right.
Ayan,
I'm
na si Carelle. Hi, Carelle! Oh, there.
Hello, I'm here! Tingnan mo yung background ko because tama kayo, stretch. Binabago natin how we call things. Hindi ako nasistress na nawawala ang Wi-Fi. Stretch. So now I just have to use my phone's connection at nawala yung aking PowerPoint and it's fine because I'm on the last PowerPoint. Although tama, how can I change my words? Kasi kung stressed ako, it affects how I feel. Pero itong client na kausap ko, stretch! Stretch yung pasensya ko. Kunyari, may problema ako sa asawa ko, stretch! At may dalawa kaming anak, 6 years old, at saka 1 year old turning 2. So talagang pagka, mom, stretch talaga dahil meron akong meeting. Merong isang comment from one of the viewers, her name is Jade. So, i-recall ko lang na parang, ano itong, kahit na merong NLP, pero itong work from home na to is a different scenario. That's true. This is different. When people say, will we be back to normal? What's normal? What's going to be normal, after this? And yet, we are all changing the way we're doing things. Tama, si Romer sinasabi niya na, dati yung commute mo na 4 hours, hindi ka na 4 hours nag-commute. Dati wala akong panahon sa mga anak ko. I only get to see them before they sleep every day. Now, we get to have lunch together, napapakain ko sila, nakakapaglaro kami. Before this talk, because I just came from another talk, dun sa previous talk ko, ang dami akong ginawa, na-stretch ako. So, pagkatapos noon, I just went to my kids, I started to hug them, and I danced with them. And then, back to this. Take care of yourself before you face anything. Ayan na, nandyan na ako. Sorry ha, nagdodoble. Ayan, malapit na. Magiging mas maganda na tayo. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ayan. So, can you see me now? Can we tag the other one? 5, 4, 3. Tag the other one. Ayan. Yes, so I'm back. Woohoo! Okay, so I'm back to my PowerPoint presentation. So just to give you a recap of what I would want to talk about in terms of paano gagamitin tong NLP na to take care of myself and make myself more employable, deal with work from home. Oh, I have to deal with my mindset all the time. It is different. Sabi ko sa inyo, having kids, I have an elderly mom na I worry about. Hindi lang yung elderly mom ko, syempre pati yung pagkain nila dun sa bahay nila, grocery nila, elderly din yung aking in-laws. So we worry about so many things. And yet, I need to show my face on a Facebook Live like this, and I have to empower. So how can I empower others if I'm not empowered? So yung sinasabi ninyo na, paano natin gagamitin itong NLP na to? I talk to myself. I listen to the language, the words that are in my head. Is it helpful or not? Kung hindi helpful ito, anong pwede kong gawin? Prior to this live, nanlalamig yung kamay ko at nanlalamig yung paa ko dahil sa excitement, dahil sa kaba, halo-halo na. So, anong ginawa ko? Nag-medyas ako. Kung yun yung pwede kong magawa, dahil hindi ko kayang i-control ang mga interruptions ng Wi-Fi, hindi ko makokontrol ang ano sasabihin ng audience, but I can control and I can manage myself. So I make myself warm. As I've said, I hug my kids. I put myself in a better state. Remember this, the problem is not the problem. The situation is not the problem. It is the state you're in when you enter the situation. It is the state you're in when you are in the problem. So if you have a situation, for example, nag-message ako sa'yo, hindi mo ako sinagot. Kung ang storya sa utak ko ay, hindi ako sinagot, itong taong to, ba't ganon? Yung meaning sa utak ko is upset because of the language it has, the words it's using, the words that my brain is using. But if nag-message ako sa'yo, hindi mo ko sinagot at sabi ko, siguro busy. Yung una, ang meaning niya, inaatake ako. Yung pangalawa, yung meaning niya, it's not a personal affront to me or not a personal attack to me. So, we understand that so many things are happening. Kung nagtatantrums ang anak ko, hindi pwede siya isipin na inaatake ako ng anak ko, sinistress niya ako. Hindi. It is a situation I cannot control right now, but what can I do? Can I do something? So let me give you a couple of tips of what you can do. Number 1, connect. So kanina, sa gitna ng lahat ng stretches na nangyayari sa akin, I reached out to people. I messaged them. I would talk to my husband. I went to my husband at sabi ko, hug please. Tapos sabi ko, kids, hug mom because I want to connect. It makes me feel better. Hugs release oxytocin in your body, so it releases positive chemicals. Kung napapansin nga ninyo, nasabi ko kanina, stress ang nanay nyo or tatay nyo, connect. Kamusta? Okay ka? Gusto mo kape? Gusto mo ako na magluto ng dinner? You know, a little act of kindness and compassion will go a long way. You do not realize how many positive chemicals you release in your body that is coming out of your body because, from your brain, coming out of your brain, going through your body because you're doing an act of kindness. So, connect with people. Or just go on Zoom, Messenger, kumausap ka ng mga tao, kamusta na? How are you today? So many people need that kind of kindness right now. Or just say thank you, be grateful. Can I connect with someone and say thank you? Salamat din sa ginagawa mo. Salamat na nag-e-effort ka. Nung Mother's Day, yung asawa ko, gumawa siya ng video for me and just saying thank you for all that I do. Ay, iyak ako ng iyak. Grabe kasi, you know, it feels so good that someone is showing appreciation. Sometimes, dahil akala natin, trabaho naman niya magluto, trabaho naman niya gawin yan, hindi na natin pinapasalamatan. So we don't connect. Say thank you. People need that the most. Now, kung walang mag-thank you sa'yo, walang nakikiconnect sa'yo, be nice to yourself. Connect with yourself and say thank you. Good job. I'm proud of you. You know? Kahit na hindi ka naghahanap ng, makahanap ng taong magsasabi sa'yo ng good job. Now, have fun. Yan yung sinasabi ko kaninang lalabas ako, makipaglaro ako sa mga anak ko, I jump around, magpapatutug ako ng music, yug lang akong ganyan. Kahit wala sa tiyempo, gagawin ko kasi makakatulong. Naman, may work from home, ang meetings ko, sunod. Mas busy ako ngayon kaysa prior to lockdown. Prior to lockdown, meron pa akong time to think. Ngayon, wala. As in talagang sunod-sunod. So, ano gagawin ko in the middle? Pwede bang mag-shake-shake muna ako dyan? Gumaganyan-ganyan muna ako. What can I do to have fun? You can play a game. You can play with your kids. Pwedeng mabilis lang na bato-bato pick. You can do that to have fun. Hindi mo kailangan makipaghabulan. Little things that you enjoy because it allows your brain to release once again positive chemicals so that you can attack the problem better. Mas makaka-strategize ka kasi okay ang nararamdaman mo. Next is pay attention. What are you paying attention to? If you pay attention to your breathing, stress ka, work from home, iba na panahon ngayon. Totoo. Breathe. Notice your breathing. Notice it going through your nose and out of your mouth. Do 3 breaths. Pay attention to your breathing kasi pag stressed ka, hindi ka humihinga. Sabi ko sa asawa ko, ba't ganun? Pag nagpa-Facebook live ako, pagod na pagod ako. Sabi ng asawa ko, hindi ka kasi humihinga pag nagsasalita ka. Dire-diretso ka. So sabi niya, hinga. Oo nga, no? Yun yung nakakalimutan ko dahil na-excite ako sobra sa kasasalita. So I have to pay attention and pause every once in a while. Make my talk slower, breathe in through my nose so that I notice and I pay attention to myself. Another thing that you can do to pay attention to God. Pray. You seek trust, that you can trust God. Go to your faith. When you pay attention to faith, kahit anong challenges na meron tayo, kayang-kaya yan kasi may faith ka. May trust ka. Kung wala kang pinagtutuunan ng faith mo, sarili mong powers to. Diba? Kakayanin mo to on your own. But if I attune to my faith, hindi ko kailangang kayanin to mag-isa. I can trust that I am being led by God or that I can have the strength of God, the grace of God to fill me. I'm paying attention to that, ha? I meditate. You can pay attention by meditating. I meditate and pray at the same time. So, another thing that you can do is to let your mind wander. Kapag ka nagde-daydream ka, actually, pinagagalitan tayo sa school for daydreaming, but it's actually a very good thing to do for you to be more creative. Diyan nang gagaling ang insights. So, let your mind wander. Walang objective, hindi ka nag-iisip ng papasukan mong trabaho or ng assignment mo sa online training. Just let your mind wander. No. Saan siya mapunta? Kahit saan, it releases the stress and the toxins from your brain. Now, that toxicity is very harmful, as I'm saying. So, you have to be able to release it using these things. Connect, have fun, attention, mind wander. Yung next is physical activity. Let your heart race a little bit. Kailangan mas mabilis siya, mapabilis mo siya by doing continuous physical activity. So, you can dance. Dance for a little bit. I dance with my kids. Hindi nyo alam, nag-push-ups ako bago ako pumasok dito dahil yung anak ko nagpo-push-ups bigla. So, naki-push-ups ako, yung 6-year-old. So, after that, the physical activity, kahit saan ka mag-aral, kahit saan mo tignan, may studies that show that physical activity releases endorphins. It lowers anxiety. It lowers depression. And the last thing is sleep. Now, a lot of people have problems with sleeping, especially with this scenario. Kahit na naka-lockdown tayo, yung iba hindi nakaka 8 hours of sleep. Because as I've said, stress, panic affects your sleep. So if you are sleeping well, then you are less stressed. Pero pag kulang ka sa tulog, dun mo napapansin, mas pumipitik ka, mas naiirita ka, mas nagagalit ka. I don't know if you feel that way. So, paano ko matutulog? Kung kulang ako sa tulog, meron akong life hack na na-discover. This is a study done by sleep experts and I saw this and I learned it and I was like, wow, ang galing nitong sleep hack na to, life hack na to. 90-minute intervals daw pala ang kailangan mo isipin kasi ibig sabihin na-complete mo yung REM or rapid eye movement. Ito yung nag-deep sleep ka na tapos paangat ka na from that deep sleep. 90 minutes daw yung exact cycle daw nun. So, pagkakulang ka ng tulog, matulog ka for 7.5 hours, yun yung pinaka-optimum. Kasi naka 90 minutes yun. Ilang 90 minutes ang 7.5 hours?
7.5. So,
Oo.
sleep.
Asawa ko yung magaling sa math eh. Na-training din niya na magaling siya sa math.
Wait lang. Na-pressure to
Oy,
ako.
pero kung naka 6 hours ka of sleep, naka-4, tama? Hindi, sige. Back tayo to simple math. Pag a 1 interval, 90 minutes, that's 1.5 hours of sleep. 2 intervals, naka 3 hours of sleep ka. Pagka naka 4.5 hours ka, naka 3 intervals ka. So 4.5 hours of sleep, bakit ganun? Pwede ako mag 4.5. And I don't know if you've noticed this, naka 4.5 hours ka, mas gising ka, mas alert ka the rest of the day than 5 hours of sleep. Because you don't go for 5. Hindi yun nasa 90-minute interval. Go for 6 hours, which is a 4 intervals ng REM. Or go for 5 intervals, which is 7.5 hours of sleep. So ganun ako mag-ring ng alarm clock. Pag yung alarm clock ko wakes me up before the 90-minute interval, ang groggy ko. Yung iba sa inyo, 8 hours na tulog, groggy. So I need to take care of this, of all of these. Champs, remember that. Connect, have fun, attention, mind wander, physical activity, and sleep. If you take care of that, it takes care of your brain. Why? Because your mind and body, they're a linked system. Magka-connect siya. Ngayon, kapag okay ang katawan mo, okay ang mind mo, pag okay ang mind mo, okay ang katawan mo. Okay? So that's what you just have to remember. May question po, okay lang ba yun? Parang nauubos na yung buong araw mo para mag-mind wander to plan things you have to do. Okay, reminder, mind wander, 1 to 2 minutes only. Hindi niyo po gagawin buong araw. It is just a break for your brain. Hindi po natin sinasabi na yung buong araw, connect. No, kahit 20 minutes lang. Yung have fun, pwede mo gawin 5 minutes. Pwede mo gawin 10 minutes. Kung gusto mo gawin 1 hour, dahil may oras ka, go. Yung attention, yung meditation, 10 minutes. 20 minutes is good. Mind wander, 1 to 2. Okay? Kung gusto mo 5 minutes. Basta, pero masyado matagal yung buong araw. Now, hello, what causes our anxiety? May magandang question on anxiety. It is because of how you are experiencing that input. So, kunyari, ito kasi hindi ko pwedeng sabihin, pandemic is causing our anxiety. No. Kasi meron po akong mga clients na may anxiety sa kamatis. How did your brain program that response? As in, may trauma siya sa kamatis. So, yung iba, may anxiety sa paglipad sa eroplano, sumakay sa eroplano. Yung iba sa atin, wala nun. Yung iba sa atin, may anxiety sa heights. Yung iba, wala. So, bakit tayo nagkaka-anxiety is all because of how you were trained to be anxious about it. Baka nagkaroon ka ng eksperyensya na may bagong bagay and nawindang ka. Hindi mo na alam kung anong gagawin mo. And your brain, as I've said a while ago, it likes safety. It likes the ritual and the habit. So when there's something new, your brain's response is, wait, you don't know about this, you're uncertain. That's why it gets anxious.
Follow up.
May follow-up po. Okay lang ba na nagpa-follow up na ako dito? Does diet have anything to do with anxiety? Yes. Just like what I've said, what you input causes your output, even food. May mga pagkain tayo tinitake that can be toxic to us. Like for example, mahilig ako magkape. Okay? Pero alam ko na pagkatapos ko magkape, hyper ako, tapos maya-maya magka-crash yan. Alam ko yan. Pero that comes from mindfulness. Alam ko na pag pinakain ko ng tsokolate yung anak ko, tatalo yan for a good 1 hour. Because that's it. And then after that, he's so tired and whiny. So what we eat, what we put in our bodies affect how we feel. Can I just share with you? Ever since I went on vegetarian, so I'm pescatarian right now, pero there are days na I go full vegan. Ano ibig sabihin ng full vegan? Hindi talaga ako kumakain ng kahit na itlog or gatas. I just go plant-based. So there are days na I go plant-based vegan diet, and there are days na talagang pescatarian, so I'll allow myself to eat seafood. Because of that, naging less ang stress sa katawan ko. I have been less sick. I used to be asthmatic. So, syempre, worry ko ngayon dito sa pandemic na to is yung asthma ko. So, I used to have a lot of illnesses, and because of my being vegetarian, naging mas malakas ang aking immune system. So, my brain is also more alert. My body affects my brain and vice versa. Is it okay to cry for no reason? It's okay to cry. A lot of people say, kailangan nag-NLP ako, hindi ako umiiyak. Sino nagsabi? Kailangan marunong kang mag-address at ma-identify that these are your body signals. Crying, malamig na kamay, nagpa-palpitate, kumagaya yung tiyan mo. acknowledge that those are your body signals telling you, help, help me. Let's do something about this. Now, when I cry, I do cry. I'm a very emotional person. Um, and when I cry, if I know the reason why I'm crying, especially if I'm sad, I give myself time to cry. Pero may time limit. Hindi pwedeng umiiyak ako buong araw. But there are moments that I know na I'm going through something, like when my father died. I was crying for a long time, but I said to myself, what does dad want? Story in my head. I had a talk a week after my father died, and I have to empower and motivate students. And I'm like, kaya ko ba to? Di ko nga kaya. Namimiss ko tatay ko. But is this what my father wants? How would my father want me to deal with this? With pride. So I gave myself that time to cry and that time to build myself up so I can, do an amazing, empowering talk. So maybe I can just cut it here and then I can ask Romer and Faye to give me those questions. Baka may mga tanong na gusto ninyong piliin from our audience.
Okay. Thank you, Carelle. Thank you very much for that session. Well, me personally, ang dami kong natutunan. This is like a crash course in anatomy physiology with all the, di ba? Amygdala. Tapos, for all those Star Wars nerds out there, so nakita naman niyo siya, no? Si Queen Amidala. So, talagang it's a very fruitful discussion. But on a more serious note, I like what you said when you mentioned that the problem is not the problem. The problem is the situation that we are in when we're facing that problem. So similar to COVID-19 right now. So the problem is not necessarily the fact that we're losing jobs or we're having to make ends meet because of COVID-19. The problem is that we don't know, we're not yet sure how to address that. And
Right.
I think that's
Right.
the main reason. That's the purpose of being Brainstrong. So thank you very much, Carelle. What about you, Fe? What are your learnings?
I actually learned a lot, but ang pinaka nag-stick sa akin talaga is really words can change your situation. What you tell yourself will really change not just the situation, like how you behave, how you react. So we just need to be more mindful kung ano yung mga sinasabi natin sa sarili natin. Because sometimes, like what Carelle said, masyado na tayong nakaprogram na if something happens, ito kagad ang reaction natin. But we need to take a step back and then think things over and then check what are we thinking. Ano ba sinasabi ko sa sarili ko? Is it a negative thought? Is it a positive thought? So I like that, words can change it and we can train our brains to be more positive.
Yeah.
So again, that's where the brain strong comes in. So thank you.
Actually,
Yes.
perfect. Natumbok mo, Faye, yung mindful. Mindful ka lang. Kaysa panic agad, mindful lang. So NLP is really all about I'm mindful about how I think, how I speak, and how I act.
Right. So thank you again, Carelle. This has been very fruitful, as in ang dami-daming learnings. So thank you, and thank you, Train Station, for joining us today. You've given us amazing tips on how to be brain strong. So that's being mindful. And that's what we all need right now to defeat any feelings of uncertainty and to move forward with determination. But in some cases, it's harder to do than others, especially if we have lost jobs because of the pandemic. Now, if you or you know anyone who needs a job right now, know that there are job opportunities for you. So please sign up to Workbank, where you can find thousands of job vacancies from different companies in the Philippines. And some are even work from home jobs, which is probably the new normal for most. So remember, Workbank is the only job site that lets you job hunt with benefits. We provide free trainings to help you acquire new skills and job application support like grab ride discounts to your job interviews. So sign up today to workbank.com. Thank you and have a good weekend ahead.